Hello students, I welcome you all in the next lecture of Mathematics 1, that is Algebra. We are doing revision of chapter number 2, Quadratic Equations. And in that we have completed all the practice sets and we have come towards the application of quadratic equation, that is word problems. And in that we are solving practice set 2.6. Here I am solving each and every question so that you will not face any problem in exam to solve the questions. Okay. So let us go further in practice set 2.6. Up to question number 6 we have discussed in the previous lecture. Today we are starting with question number 7. This is an important question. Please take note of this. This is having star mark, so little bit more you have to think here. You have to apply your skills here. It is not simply a knowledge based question. You have to apply your skills, you have to apply certain formula to solve this. Okay. So let us start with the sum. Pratik takes 8 hours to travel 36 kilometers downstream and return to the same spot. The speed of boat in still water is 12 kilometers per hour. Find the speed of water current. So here whatever we want to find, that we are going to take as x. Speed of water current we are going to take as x. Now here speed of boat must be greater than speed of water current, then only boat can go upstream. If the speed of the boat is less than the speed of water current, then boat cannot travel upstream, because the speed of the current will oppose the speed of the boat and it is not possible for boat to travel upstream. So here the very sure we are going to get the speed of water current less than 12. Okay, now distance is given and speed is given and the condition is given in the form of time. So it is very sure that here you have to use the formula time is equal to distance upon speed. Distance is 2 times taken, 36 kilometers downstream, and returning back means upstream. Okay. So here we have to think of the speed of the boat downstream and speed of the boat upstream also. So when the boat is going downstream, that means in the same direction with that of the current, then the speed of the current is going to support the speed of the bus. So speed of the boat. So we are going to add that to the speed of boat. But while coming upstream, it is going to obstruct. Okay, or the speed of the boat will decrease. So we have to subtract the speed of the current from the boat while it is going upstream. That means in opposite direction of the current. Okay, so let us start. Let us take the speed of the water current as x kilometers per hour. This is unknown to us. So from this we can write down the speed of the boat upstream and speed of the boat downstream. Okay. So here the speed of the boat in still water is 12 kilometers per hour, which is given to us. So as I have said, downstream it is going to support the speed of the boat. Speed of the current is going to support the speed of the boat. That is why here addition will take place. Therefore the speed of the boat downstream is 12 plus x kilometer plus hour per hour. And when it is going upstream, that time it is going to oppose. That is why we have to go for subtraction. Okay. So the speed of the boat downstream is 12 plus x kilometers per hour and speed of the boat upstream is 12 minus x kilometers per hour. As I have said, x is always less than 12 because here speed cannot be negative, or I have said what will happen if the speed of the water current here is more than the speed of the boat. Boat cannot travel upstream. Okay. So this condition is very, very important, that the speed of the water current is less than the speed of the boat. Okay. Now let us see what is the distance, total distance covered, 36 kilometers. So from that we can get the time taken by the boat to travel upstream and to travel downstream. Okay. So that we can write down by using the formula time is equal to distance upon speed. So here distance 36 kilometers and downstream the speed is 12 plus x. Similarly, for upstream distance is constant but the speed is 12 minus x. So we can write down the time taken by the boat to travel 36 kilometers downstream as 36 upon 12 plus x hours. Similarly, for upstream we can write down 36 upon 12 minus x hours. But together this time is given as 8 hours. So we can write down according to the given condition here 36 upon 12 plus x plus 36 upon 12 minus x is equal to 8. Okay, time taken downstream plus time taken upstream, together it is given as 8 hours. Now here what you can observe is these 36, 36 and 8 we can divide them by 4. Okay, we can simplify it. Also here the denominators are different, so we have to go for cross multiplication. So these things we need to do. We have to convert this equation to the standard form of quadratic equation. Okay, so let us do the changes. Here we can divide by 4 to make it simple, and also we have to go for cross multiplication. Okay, so what we will get here, see what is done here. 36 is taken out common, and inside the bracket 1 upon 12 plus x plus 1 upon 12 minus x is given and is equal to 8 is given. Then 36 you can take this side, or as I have said previously, you can divide by 4 and then also you can write down the simplified equation. Okay, so now when we cross multiply, see this 12 plus x will go here and 12 minus x will go here. So 12 minus x plus 12 plus x divided by multiplication of these two. So write down these two terms in bracket, and this 36 will come down here, so 8 upon 36. So see, minus x and plus x cancelled. Okay, and down you can see it is of the type a plus b, a minus b. So we can expand it as a square minus b square, and here we can divide by 4 both the places, and from that we will get the simplified equation as this. See, 12 plus 12, 24. Okay, this I told that a square minus b square, so 12 square minus x square, and here divided by 4 both the places, so 2 upon 9. Okay, now 12 square is what? 144, that we can write down here. Now to further simplify it, let us go for cross multiplication here like this. Okay, so let us cross multiply, and then what we are going to get here is 24 into 9 divided by 2 is equal to 144 minus x square. So when you divide here you will get 12, and 12 into 9, 108. You will get the new equation as 108 is equal to 144 minus x square. Okay, now let us write it in the standard form. Okay, so this 108 we are going to shift it this side, so we will get it as, or you can take these two this sides. Okay, so minus x square will become plus x square, and minus 144 plus 108 you will get minus 36. So the equation will be x square is equal to 36, or x square minus 36 is equal to 0. These two are extra steps done. If you can do it directly as I have said just now, shift this x square this side, so it will become plus x square, and 144 minus 108, we are going to get 36. So this is the standard form of the quadratic equation. Okay. Or you can do these steps also. If you don't understand the direct conversion, you can do it like this. Take this minus x square this side, so it will become plus x square, and 108 you shift this side, so you will get 36. X square is equal to 36, but here you don't write x is equal to 6. Why? Because we need to factorize it. So you have to write down in standard form. Writing the equation in standard form is very, very important. This step carries marks, so you need to write it in standard form. Now here, by using the expansion formula a square minus b square, that is a plus b and a minus b, you can write the factors of these as x plus 6 and x minus 6. Got it? So factors are written, and these two are equal to 0, then we have to go for either or. Either this bracket is 0 or this bracket is 0. So you can write down x plus 6 is equal to 0 or x minus 6 is equal to 0. And from that you will get two values of x as x is equal to minus 6 and x is equal to plus 6. But just recall what we have taken in the beginning, x, as x is the speed of the water current. And that speed cannot be negative. So we have to discard this answer by giving the proper justification that as speed cannot be negative, here x is not equal to minus 6 and therefore x is equal to 6. And then the final answer you have to write down as a statement. Therefore, the speed of the water current is 6 kilometers per hour. Okay, so I hope you must have understood this. As I have said, this is an important question. I didn't give time to write here because we are doing revision. Okay, already we have solved this sum previously when I taught you the lesson. But still those who want to copy down, they can pause the video and they can write down the answer. Okay. Now let us go towards the next question. Again, this is an important question. Okay. Again, this is star marks, so a little bit difficult it is. Means not that simple. You have to think more to frame the equations. So let us read the equation first. Pintu takes 6 days more than those of Nishu to complete certain work. If they work together, they finish it in 4 days. How many days would it take to complete the work if they work alone? Okay, so such questions are also often asked in exams. Also, some questions are based on the filling of tank, that one tap is smaller and other tap is bigger, and the number of hours are given, and then they ask that how many hours will be required to fill the tank if the taps are working alone. So similar question is asked, exactly similar method is there. Okay, so try to understand. Again, this is an important question, as I have said. Okay, those who want to write the answer, they can write along with me, or as I have said, they can pause the video and they can complete it. Okay, so let us see now. How many days would it take to complete work if they work alone? That means we have to find out the number of days taken by Pintu if he is working alone, and the number of days taken by Nishu if she is working alone. Okay, so those days we have to find out. So for assuming x, we will make use of this statement. See, Pintu takes 6 days more than those of Nishu. That means Nishu is taking less days. So the days taken by Nishu we will take as x, and from that we can write down the days taken by Pintu as x plus 6, because Pintu is taking 6 days more. Okay, so how to start with that you will understand from reading this particular statement. Okay, so we have to start with that. Let the number of days taken by Nishu to complete the work alone be x, and therefore the number of days taken by Pintu are what? X plus 6. Let Nishu take x days to complete the work, and therefore Pintu takes x plus 6 days to complete the work. Okay, so from this first statement we wrote these two values, two terms, x and x plus 6. Okay, now here we have to find out the work done by them in one day. Nishu is taking x days to complete the work. That means she will complete 1 upon x work, 1 upon x part of work in one day. And Pintu will take 1 upon x plus 6 part of work in one day. Okay, so that we have to write down. Therefore, here work done by Nishu in one day is 1 upon x. Always write down reciprocal of this. These are the total days taken. So work done in one day is 1 upon x here, and work done by Pintu in one day is 1 upon x plus 6 here. Okay, so together they will complete 1 upon x plus 1 upon x plus work. We have to add this. This much work is done by Nishu and this much work is done by Pintu in one day. So the total work done by them in one day is addition of these two. Okay, that we have to write down. Okay, that means work done by both of them in one day is addition of these two. So this is what we have done. But now read this statement. if they work together, they finish it in 4 days. That means the total number of days taken by them are 4. So how much work they will finish in one day? That is 1/4. Okay, 1/4. Always take reciprocal as I have said. Okay, so that we will write down. This quantity will be equal to 1/4 because together they are working, completing the work in 4 days. So this quantity is equal to 1/4. That we have to understand. Okay. So together they are completing the work in 4 days, and therefore work done by both of them in one day is 1/4. As I have said, the previous addition is equal to 1/4. So what we can write down according to the given condition is 1/x plus 1/x plus 6 is equal to 1/4. Work done by them. This is also work done by both of them in one day, and this is also work done by them in one day. So these two quantities are equal. Okay. So we have written the condition. Now we have to convert it to the standard form. So we have to go for cross multiplication here like this. Okay. So let us go for cross multiplication. What we will get here? See, this x plus 6 is multiplied by 1. So we got x plus 6. And x is multiplied 1. So we got x here in the numerator. And in the denominator we are writing them as a product because we want to equalize the denominator. This 1/4 as it is. Now see, this x and this x, 2x plus 6, and we expand this bracket, then we get x square plus 6x is equal to 1/4. Again go for cross multiplication for further simplification. So let us cross multiply here, and then this x square plus 6x multiplied by 1, it is going to be x square plus 6x. And when we multiply here by 4, we get 4 into 2x as 8x and 4 into 6 as 24. Then you know the standard form, ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, means all the terms we need to shift to LHS. So let us shift these two terms to LHS. So these positive terms, they will become negative when we shift to LHS. So what we got, x square plus 6x, which is as it is present here, plus 8x we wrote as minus 8x, and plus 24 we wrote as minus 24. Now see, these two are like terms, so we can subtract them. So 8 minus 6, we are going to get 2x, but minus 2x. Why? Because here this is a bigger number. So our equation will be x square minus 2x minus 24 is equal to 0. Okay. So we got the quadratic equation. Now the next step is to factorize this. Okay. So see here, the last term is negative. That means we are going to think of subtraction. Two numbers whose multiplication is 24 and difference is 2. Also the bigger number is negative because the middle term is negative. So the numbers are minus 6 and plus 4. See, 6 4s are 24 and 6 minus 4 is 2. But as I have said, the bigger number is having negative sign. So minus 6 plus 4. Okay. So we will write it like this. Then the next step is to take out common from these two. You can see x is common, so we are left out with x minus 6. And here we can see 4 is common, so here also we got the bracket as x minus 6. And finally we got the factors as x minus 6 and x plus 4. Okay. Then the next step, all of you know, we have to go for either or. Either x minus 6 is equal to 0 or x plus 6 is equal to 0. Okay. So write down that, and from that you will get the two values of x as x is equal to plus 6 and x is equal to minus 4. Again we have to discard this value. We are not going to accept this value. We are going to say that x cannot be minus 4. Why? Because x we have taken as number of days, and number of days cannot be negative. So write down x is not equal to minus 4 as number of days cannot be negative, and therefore value of x is what? 6. And the other quantity x plus 6, that is 6 plus 6 is equal to 12. So we got the number of days taken by Nishu and Pintu, and then write down the final answer as Therefore, Nishu takes 6 days and Pintu takes 12 days to complete the work. Okay. So please, once again I am telling you that this is an important type of question, and similar type of question of tab also can appear here, as I have explained you in the beginning. So all of you study this question. Now let us go towards the next one. Question number 9 here. Again, this is star mark, so little bit difficult it is. It is not that simple. If 460 is divided by a natural number, quotient is 6 more than 5 times the divisor and remainder is 1. Find the quotient and the divisor. Now see here, if you read the question properly, you will find the words. See here, divisor is there, remainder is there, quotient is there, and this 460 is called as dividend. So immediately you have to recall the relationship between them. You know that dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. You have studied this in lower standard. So that relationship you need to use here. This is dividend, then quotient, divisor and remainder is given. So we have to find quotient and divisor. So here we have to decide that what to take as x, whether to quotient or whether divisor. So for deciding that, you make use of this statement. See, quotient is 6 more than 5 times the divisor. So quotient is given in the form of divisor. Therefore, we have to take divisor as x. Okay, try to understand that how to decide here. Quotient is given in the form of divisor. So take divisor as x. So start with that. Let the divisor be x. And from that you can write down the quotient. You know dividend, you know remainder. Then by using that relationship, dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder, you can frame the equation. Okay, so let us start. So what to start with? Let the divisor be x, as I have said. And from that we can write down the quotient. Quotient is 6 more than 5 times the divisor. Divisor is x and 5 times means 5x. And 6 more means plus 6. And therefore the value of quotient is 5x plus 6. Okay, so the divisor is written, the quotient is written. Next step, you write down dividend and you write down remainder. Dividend is 460 and remainder is 1. And then I said you have to use the relationship. So write down the relationship. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. And here now you put the values. In place of dividend you will write down 460. In place of divisor you will write x into quotient is 5x plus 6, but write it in bracket. Okay, otherwise you will get wrong answer. Write it in bracket and plus the remainder, that is 1. So next step is to put the values. Okay, so see, 460 divisor x into quotient, I said that write it in bracket plus 1. In the next step we are going to expand this. So x into 5x is 5x square and x into 6 is 6x, this plus 1 as it is. Then let us write it in the standard form. So convert all the terms on LHS. So what you are going to do is you are going to shift this 460 this side. But while writing, write it on LHS and write equal to 0. So see, 5x square plus 6x plus 1, and this 460 positive has become negative. Okay, actually we are shifting it this side, but while writing we are changing the side and writing. Okay, so now this you can subtract. So what you will get? 5x square plus 6x minus 459 is equal to 0. Now see, this equation is little bit difficult. So I said this is not that simple. Here finding the factors is a skill. Okay. So here you have to multiply 459 and 5. And then you have to find the factors so that the difference is 6. I have taught you the vertical division method here. Okay, you can make use of that method and then you will get the factors as 51 and 45. Okay, here you have to divide this. Okay, if you divide it by 9, then you will get 51 here. That means 559 you can write down 9 into 51, and that 9 and 5, that is 45. So the factors are 51 and 45. 51 is positive and 45 is negative. But while writing here, I will not write 51 first. Why? Because 51 is not divisible by 5. While writing the factors of these, or while splitting this middle term, I will write this as minus 45x plus 51x. Why? Because 45 comes in the table of 5. Okay, so the factors, did you understand? Plus 51x and minus 45. But while writing, we will write down minus 45x first and plus 51x afterwards. Why? Because here 5 and 45, they are in the same table. Taking out common will be easier. That is why minus 45 is written first here. Got it? This is important thing. If you write 51x first, then also you are going to get the factors, no doubt. But to make it easier, we have written it like this. So here we can see that 5x is common, and inside we got x minus 9. And here 51 is common, and this bracket is going to be same. So we got the factors as x minus 9 and 5x plus 51 is equal to 0. Then you are going to go for either or. X minus 9 is equal to 0 or 5x plus 51 is equal to 0. Okay, and from that you will get the values of x. So values of x, see, x minus 9 is equal to 0 or 5x plus 51 is equal to 0. So x you will get plus 9, and here x you will get minus 51 upon 5. See, this plus 51, if you shift to RHS, it is going to become minus, and this 5 will come in the denominator. Okay, but what is x? Just recall what is x here. So x is a number and natural number it is given, so it is not possible that it is negative. Also it cannot be a fraction, so it is not a natural number, because in equation natural number word is used. So this is not a natural number, and therefore we can say that x cannot be equal to 51 upon 5 because natural numbers cannot be negative. And from that we get x is equal to 9. So this is value of divisor. X9 is what? Divisor. And from that you can write down the quotient, which is 5x plus 6. So 5 into 9 plus 6, that is 51. Okay, so we got the value of divisor and quotient both. And then you write down the final answer as a statement. Therefore, the quotient is 51 and the divisor is 9. Or you can write down the divisor is 9 and the quotient is 51. I hope you must have understood this question. All these questions are very, very important from the purpose of exam. You know that in question number 4, here challenging questions are asked. Okay. So I hope all of you will study this well. If you have any doubts, you can ask me on WhatsApp. Okay. You can give me the message on WhatsApp that I am having difficulty in so and so question. I will definitely solve your difficulty. Okay students, so today we are stopping here. Till that, you stay home, stay safe, take care of yourself. Thank you students.